Hey, this is Dale Tinsley. You're listening to the Connect Podcast. Our purpose is to guide you to connect with yourself so that you can connect with others and live a life of meaning and value. Continuing the series, Limitless Potential, Endless Refinement. Peace be with you, and welcome back to Connect. How you guys feeling today? I hope at this point in the experiment of life, in your hero's journey, you truly see the power and the importance of healing. For today's episode, self-worth. Whew. Super important. I know you've heard me say before that this episode's important and this one really matters. Well, the truth is they all do. They're all connected. Everything in life is connected. But today's episode, self-worth. Think about that for a second and how impactful self-worth is. And think about your own self-worth and what that means to you. So today we're going to dig into it. We're going to dig into self-worth. I hope the wheels in your head are turning. I hope your heart hears self-worth and gives you a reaction. No matter what that reaction is. Because we've got to be rigorously honest with ourselves in order for our awareness to be true, for us to be able to see the difference between our own egos and what is truly operating in our headspace. Are we being led by ego? Are we being led by our authenticity, our spirit? Do we have mind, heart, coherence? So what do you think about yourself? And even deeper, and why do you think these things about yourself? So that's where we can go back to the 3-part series, Relationship, and really get some perspective on our own self-worth, because that 3-part series covers when we were kids, as adults, and then wrapping it all together. It shows the importance of the programming that we received or didn't receive. And that all ties into how we feel about ourselves and what we think about ourselves based on programming, based on information that we got, whether or not we were loved or nurtured as much as we needed at the time. So when you pose that question to yourself, what is my self-worth? What's the story that you hear in your head? What's the narrative that you tell yourself? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it healthy? Is it unhealthy? Is it you can and you will? Or I can't do that. It never works out for me. Ties in another episode, mindset. Your mindset, your self-worth. Fixed mindset, I can't. I'm the victim. It never works out for me. Growth mindset. I'm open. I can. I'm going to try. I'm going to lead with love. I'm going to step into my courage because I have the willingness. No one is above me. No one is below me. I'm here to do my part. This is my hero's journey. And I don't compare myself to other people because no one is me. No one is you. So if your self-worth is dominated by outside forces, so's your mindset. You're reactionary, and everything feels like an attack when we're in that fixed mindset. So for today's topic, self-worth, as always, the most important tool that we have is our awareness. Our external awareness of what we see, and more importantly, our internal awareness as we're rigorously honest with ourselves. We look back at our own lives and we look at the programming that we received and how we feel about how we were raised. And those are key moments that might bring up triggers, and those triggers are the treasure that we have to sit with. We have to sit with those things and process them. We process them. We go through the layers of all of that. We gain some understanding. We gain some acceptance. And we breathe, release, and let it go so that we can heal. And that may take a couple layers to do that, but using our superpower, our awareness, with the rigorous honesty, we have a path forward to being more whole, to letting those things go from the past that pop up in our radar and swim around in our head and directly affect our self-worth, 100%. So this narrative that you tell yourself that we each have this story in our head, that voice. Is it based on the past? Is it based on the future and future thoughts? Is it based on achievements? Is it dominated by insecurities? The insecurities, they mirror triggers. Right? The insecurity is before the trigger because the insecurity is what you don't want exposed, so to speak. And then when it gets exposed or it's challenged or brought to light, there goes that trigger. Now you're in it. Those things are tells. They're tells whether we pick this up from the programming when we were kids or even as an adult. The triggers, the reactions, the insecurities, that lets us know something's off. That lets us know this is something I need to deal with. I shouldn't suppress it like I've been doing, because you can suppress. And then you have that big blowout. Been there and done that. It's a lot. Self-worth is, when you look in the mirror and how you feel about yourself, what you think about yourself, that's your lens for your hero's journey. And as we look out into the world through that lens that's opaque, because you have some insecurities and some things that need to be dealt with, wherever you are in your self-worth, that's what's going to be mirrored back to you. That's what you're going to see in the world. because that's the lens of your perspective and your perception through your experiences. You know, we build relationships with people, even with animals, your dog, your cat. You first got that dog, it wasn't like it is today, 5 years later, 3 years later. So we build relationships with people, with animals. We learn skills, all these different things outside of ourselves. But are you building the relationship with yourself? Are you meditating? Are you listening to your body? Are you feeding yourself what you need? The right nutrition, the right amount of exercise, the right amount of sunlight. All of these things feed in to our own self-worth. No one is you. No one is you. No one has your talents, your gifts. This is your hero's journey. But each of us has to uncover our talents. We have to use our gifts. And what does that do? That elevates our self-worth. So let's get into how do I build my self-worth? How do I build it? We've talked about the importance of healing. So we're going to do two things at the same time. We're going to stay aware and keep our self-worth and keep that thought and keep that momentum in our brains. And we're going to focus on healing and dealing and making the time for ourselves. So as we're healing, we're going to elevate our self-worth. And like everything in life, it takes effort. Everything takes effort. Everything takes maintenance. And your self-worth needs to start with self-love and understanding nobody's going to do it for you. Outside validation is based on what you do externally. Well, I do so much, and I have this title, and I make this money. But those are external things. Real, true self-worth comes from you knowing who you are at a profound level. Real, true self-worth comes from you being connected to yourself, mind, body, spirit. Going to bed at night knowing, man, I had a productive day. I had a productive day. I got these things done. I journaled. I meditated. I was of service to someone that called. I was able to step up and help them. Your real self-worth comes from inside you because you're building yourself to be a better person. You're focusing on quality versus quantity. You're developing a backbone that you never had and putting in boundaries that you never had before. All of these things are internal. And to contrast outside validation with internally, no one can affirm you. No one can validate you. No one can affirm you. That's outside of you. And all that truly matters is how you feel and think about yourself Because it's your hero's journey. It's your hero's journey. You know if you're trying. You know if you're putting in effort. You know if you're in the process of working it out or you're not. We can fake the funk and lie to everybody outside of us. We can't lie to ourselves. It all takes effort. All of it. The outside validation, it's not because you do all of these things. It's because of the person that you are, that you've refined yourself to become, that you can do those things consistently. Are you loyal? Are you responsible? Are you creative? Do you step up? Are you adaptable? Do you show courage? Are you willing? Do you lead with love? Do you lead with compassion? Do you have that fire inside of you? Those are the elements that you've cultivated within yourself that allow you to go execute at a high level. If you didn't have those things inside of you, you couldn't perform the way you do consistently at a high level. And it started inside of you, asking the questions, why am I this way? Why do I think I'm a failure? What can I do better? How can I make myself better? Who should I reach out to for help? I have the humility to step into gratitude and ask someone for help that's got the right energy, has the right frequency, operates from a place of love, and is a subject matter expert on what you're reaching out to them for. Self-worth is about you cultivating yourself while you're letting go of the past and working through the triggers, working through the insecurities, working through the traumas that no longer serve you. That story is old. That's an old story. Why does it keep repeating in your head? Because the ego uses that to keep you exactly where you are. And why does that fear and that anxiety come in when you're going to make a different choice? Because the ego says, oh, no, we can't have something different. I want to keep you right where you are. Boom, activate the anxiety, activate the frustration, activate the fear, activate the insecurity. Those are tools that the ego uses. And you know that. Breaking those patterns, breaking that indoctrination, breaking all of that requires you to be rigorously honest with yourself, and you do it in silence. You do it in silence. Nobody's there. Nobody is you. Nobody is inside your head. No matter how honest and open you are and what you share with the world or one specific person, they're not in your head to know all of the ins and outs. We focus on the healing. We focus on letting go. We have the willingness and the courage to face those things one at a time. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be overwhelmed. Focus on one issue at a time. Peel the onion, run the layers, take time away from it, do the work for 3 days, sit with it, take a break. And make sure you're spending time in nature. You have to love yourself. You have to cultivate yourself for your self-worth to be genuine. And as you cultivate your own self-worth, nobody can take that from you. You'll get to know yourself at a more profound level. And as we cultivate ourselves, what shoots up? Your self-confidence starts to grow because you're working on yourself internally. You're building yourself internally. The fear starts to dissipate. You gain more clarity. And as you continue to cultivate yourself and really give yourself what you need, your self-worth starts to rise organically. Because you're feeding and you're nurturing yourself. You're feeding your authenticity. You're listening to your intuition when your intuition says, don't do that. You don't really want to do that. And you make the choice to listen to your intuition and to be your authentic self. As you continue to build and to grow internally, you see, nobody can take that from you. Nobody can take these things from you because you've built them. You've built these things. And then what people think of you starts to dissipate because you know who you are. And you know what you're not. And just because you did things in the past, those are things you did. You can make new choices now. You're breaking patterns. You're focused on your growth. Showing up for yourself. And if you don't do it, who's going to do it? Who's going to do it for you? I want the best for you. And when you show up as your best self, you're fully present. You're aware. You're living in your authenticity in a relaxed body. Not judging others. And you can see when they're judging you, but you just accept it. Because it's that person's perception based on how they see the world. And that has nothing to do with you. So don't take things personal. Some of the connect staples that I continue to repeat through the episodes every once in a while. Don't take things personal. People are having the experience that they're having based on if they're living from a healed state or an unhealed state. So we don't take things personal, and we understand and realize no one is above us and no one is below us. And as far as comparing, comparison is the thief of joy. And comparison will always leave you disappointed. It's your hero's journey. You have to cultivate you because nobody else will do it. And making the time, prioritizing the time to sit with yourself, to sit in meditation. Making the time to go to the gym, even if it's a 20-minute workout, because you're pressed for time and you can't do the 30, 35 minutes that you normally do. Something is better than nothing. When you focus on building your self-worth, boy, that momentum starts going and going and going and going, and you start vibrating higher. You start making better choices. You're looking at quality instead of quantity. It'll change your life. It'll change your life, but you have to prioritize you. And you have to understand that your own self-worth comes from your internal reality. Your mind and your heart in coherence. And if it's a mess, your self-worth is not where it should be. If you've dealt with the things you need to deal with and you got some momentum going, boy, I bet you're full of energy. I bet you're living in clarity, grateful, humbled by the experience of having gone through those dark moments, and you survived. You survived them for a reason, because you didn't come this far to only come this far. The story is not over. You are the architect. You are the writer. You're the main actor. You're the main actor. And if there's somebody in your movie that you don't want in your movie, you do an edit. Write them out of the story. Let it go. That's an old chapter. Use your self-awareness. Be rigorously honest with yourself. Work on the unhealed moments. Cultivate what you need internally to become it. Well, I'm not loyal. I need to be more loyal. I need to show more courage. I need to be more loving, more nurturing. Whatever the foundational blocks are, whatever the layers are, write them down. And become those things. We each have a different list of what's important to us. Become more empathetic, become more loving, become more courageous. Sit with those words, the ones that have meaning and value to you. Sit with those words. You want to be more courageous? You got to step into the moment. When that fear is hitting you, take a deep breath and lead with courage. Courage is operating with the fear. Courage isn't just, oh, well, I just did it. Well, then you just did it. You stepped into a moment because there was some trepidation, there was some fear, but you stepped into your courage and worked through it. And the more you do those types of things, the fear dissipates. You realize it was all in your head. It's a lot to think about. Bunch of layers, a lot of complexities. But like every episode, I hope it just made you think. I hope it got you thinking. I hope it opened your mind and helped open your heart. And I'm here to be of service to you guys. So if you'd like to support the Connect podcast, please subscribe. Share the content, leave a comment. Let me know about a topic that you'd like to see covered. I'd like to invite you to go to theconnection.studio. You can grab the journal for today's episode, Self-Worth, and the journal for every episode. And if you need a reminder when you're triggered about your insecurities, go grab a shirt. We got a deal to heal. We've got to deal with it. We can't run. It's time to stand in our power, because that's what we're brought here to do in our hero's journey. Till next time, friends. God bless. Thanks for joining us at the Connection Studio. You can support us by sharing with others and posting to social media. Keep doing the internal work. as it will truly make all the difference. God bless.